What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel on American, talking about football and Manchester United. We have updates this morning in terms of the Mbeumo new deal. A third deal. Does that mean the second deal was rejected? Most likely. And also a quick update on the striker position, potentially involving Gyökeres and a move to United. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. We are really close to 100 subscribers, and I thank you guys so much for the love and support. So hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 100 subscribers here soon. But the update coming from Fabrizio Romano, as I've got it on my phone right here. Brentford and Manchester United are trying to find a solution to reach an agreement for Bryan Mbeumo. United remained calm and confident. Goes on to also say Manchester United and Brentford discuss the structure of the deal for Bryan Mbeumo. Add-ons crucial. Details as United remained confident. All of that is coming from Fabrizio Romano, who is one of the best out there in terms of transfers. So I do believe that this is indeed the case. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, and I'm wondering the same thing, another bid rejected. Why? What's going on? United, I think, are trying to lowball or throw out pretty outlandish add-ons, most likely, that Brentford don't like. It sounds like it was around 55 plus either 7 to 10 in add-ons, and that's just barely shy of what they paid for Cunha, which I think was like 62.5. 0.5, I should say, for Cunha, or 60. It was in the 60 million range for Cunha, and I think that's what Brentford want at the end of the day for Mbeumo. So United kind of dragging their feet, trying to lowball, it sounds like, because if you've had one offer rejected, then you've had two offers rejected. And from Fabrizio, if it is the case of add-ons being a critical part of the negotiations, you got to come through and get this done. They're dragging their feet. Again, it's still early in the transfer window itself, so we're not really missing out on any other teams, as Mbeumo has already said that the only team he's going to go to if he does leave is going to be Manchester United. So I think United, obviously, front runners, but I also would like to see this deal get done. I know we talked yesterday about the medical potentially happening next week, but I also think that it is going to rely on the fact that they can get the deal done this weekend in terms of getting those add-ons sorted out and figured out so that they are able to put pen to paper, cross those T's, dot the I's, and get the deal done. Because from all accounts, I'm assuming if a medical is on the works for next week, that the personal terms are most likely agreed to. I don't know if it's going to be 250 a week, 280 a week. I don't think it's going to be northward of 285,000 a week. So I would think it'd be a little bit lower. 250, I think, would be fair and fine. A little bit high, but that's the price you have to pay for players these days, and the way United have been doing it over the past couple of years, or few years, I should say, they typically overpay players. Just look at Sancho, look at Rashford. They overpaid him, and now it's biting them in the butt. So we'll have to wait and see how things shake out. I do still think 90% of me does think that this deal is going to get done. It's just a matter of how much it is going to be for Bryan Mbeumo and his services coming to Manchester United to help us push for Champions League places next season. And going on into the next little bit of news, and it is, I wouldn't really say news, but more of an update on the striker situation and potential for positive lookings, positive, whatever you want to call it, towards Gyökeres and United still being a good potential. I'm not going to be 100% certain until I see a Ben Jacobs, a Fabrizio, a David Ornstein actually report and say that United and Gyökeres have worked out a deal, or Sporting and United have started conversations. I'm not going to get that excited, but it is a decent update of Sesko and Arsenal and the proceedings there, because Arsenal obviously in for Sesko, in for Gyökeres. They need a new striker that they are desperately trying to get in, and RB Leipzig are wanting a lot of money for Sesko. They are upwards to 100 million euros, which roughly is about 80 to 90 million pounds, but it sounds like those figures are dropping. Started at 100, now is going down to 70 million euros, which roughly equates to, I believe, about 60 million pounds. I could be getting those confused, but basically what it is, what they're wanting is a little bit less than what it actually, or what they want, 60 or 70 million is 60 in European or in English currency. However that works out. An American trying to talk about that is pointless, but it's a big point of, okay, well, if it's 60 million, that's about what Gyökeres is wanting to go for to the highest bidder, whoever's going to want to go for him. So, and RB Leipzig are really, really wanting to get the funds in to be able to build their team, because you've got the Leverkusen's building with Ten Hag. You've got the Dortmund's building. They got Joe Bellingham. They've got a few other players. Obviously, you've got Bayern, who are going to be an absolute wagon, as they always are. So they don't want to fall behind. They want to get the funds in sooner rather than later, so that they're able to bring in the pieces for their preseason. And what started as 100 million, now down to 70 million, aka 60 million for English standards. And that's pretty big, big time, because if that's the case and Arsenal go with Sesko, and the way I see it, if they're waiting for the price to drop on one player to the amount that is the other player, so if they're waiting on Sesko's price to drop to what they think they would be willing to pay, and it's the same as Gyökeres, to me that means Sesko is their main target. I know there have been reports stating that though they could bring in two strikers, they could bring them both in, Sesko and Gyökeres, but I don't actually see Gyökeres wanting to go somewhere where there's already a top striker. I don't think he wants that smoke or the competition. I think he wants to be the go-to guy for whatever club he is going to be going to. And if Arsenal are really pushing for Sesko, I think that does open the door for United being able to swoop in and pick up Gyökeres, even with the lack of Champions League play this season. So really interesting developments that we will have to keep an eye out on over the next couple of days. I don't think anything's going to be concrete this weekend in terms of the strikers, but for Mbeumo, I would like to see Sunday, even maybe Monday, where the deal has been finalized. The medical will take place on Wednesday or Thursday next week, and then everything's kind of buttoned up by next weekend, getting ramped up for their preseason tour in America, and getting them into Carrington before they head off over here to America, I think would be absolutely huge. So big stuff on the horizon, but I want to know your guys' thoughts on Mbeumo, about the striker situation, about anything you want to talk about. Drop those down below in the comments. But if you guys did enjoy this episode, be sure to drop a like on it, that thumbs up button, hit that. It really does help out. Hit the subscribe button if you guys are new. We are pretty darn close to 100, so subscribe if you're new, join the community, help it grow. But that's going to be it for this one, guys, and we will catch you in the next video.